Hey guys, Alexander here. There are so many different schools of astrology, and why shouldn't there be? It's thousands of years old. To get a real idea of how important astrology is, let's just look at the word disaster. It comes from the Italian word disastro, meaning ill-starred. How crazy is that? So anytime you hear someone say disaster at work, in school, or in the news, stop and think, oh my god, I need to go check the charts to see why that's true. Some questions arise. Could I have done something to prevent this disaster? What did I miss? The best question we should ask ourselves is, what can I do now? This question is so important because every disaster is an act of fate. So now I need to back up and answer the age-old question, what is fate? Well, my friends, fate is fatal. Because fate is what happens when the stars are running the show. Yeah, sure, things can be going great, but it won't last because even if you have good transits going on, transits are transitory, meaning they don't last forever. Sure, the bad won't last, but neither will the good, so we are left in a constant flux of up and down. So where and how does astrology offer a solution? Well, many schools deal with the prediction of events, and it takes a very talented astrologer to interpret the energies at play. But chances are, unless the astrologer is like a black magician or something, he will not predict the future of your stars. Astrology should be used to foresee favorable and unfavorable conditions within you. Challenges that you are facing and have been facing based upon the archetypes residing within you, the special constellation, if you will. I have been studying astrology since I was a kid. In fact, I was studying it before I even knew what it was. In the mornings before school, for example, I would make sure I was up early enough to watch Sailor Moon. I was obsessed with it. How Sailor Mars had firepower and Sailor V shot laser beams out of her finger. Oh my god, it was really intense. It was my first exposure to the power of the planets. In Southern California, we only had, the first two seasons in English, and I began to wonder if there were other sailors, one for every planet of the solar system. I mean, it's not that outrageous, right? Well, I would have visits of, my idea of what the Pluto archetype was in my sleep, and she had a little staff, and she would protect me while I was playing and stuff. Well, when I got older, to my surprise, and I started using the internet, I found out that in Japan there actually was a Sailor Pluto, and she looked like the archetype I had been seeing. Plus, she's the protector of the, space-time portal. If you're interested, check it out. So, I tell you this to show you, to tell you two things. Archetypes are everywhere. They're within all of us. The planets affect us. If you don't believe me, just ask Mother Earth how, she likes when Mr. Moon ebbs and flows her oceans. Okay? Anyhow, so my point is that I use a very old and time-proven system of archetypes, and you may know them from, oh my god, here comes the word, I'm gonna say it, tarot. I know, my fellow millennials in America remember those 1-800 commercials of Miss Cleo, call me now for your free tarot reading.
If you want him to believe that it's over, then you gotta stop accepting the booty calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. You understand?
Who asked you to go out of town? The stupid young one or the married one?
The married one.
That's what I thought. Don't go, you hear me? And you know what? You're not listening to me because I see you going. I see you going. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to help you to avoid the heartache. Don't go blindly through life. Let me use the power of the tarot to show you the way. Call me now for your free reading.
She actually died this year, so we can, say a little prayer for her. But, she exposed us to what the tarot was, right? And yeah, it's the same tarot, but I do not use it in that way, like with divination. In the same way I don't use astrology as a divination. A good astrologer requires no psychic energy and only reads the science behind it and has a strong spiritual connection with the archetypes. Without getting into all the details, there are 22 archetypes that correspond to the 12 signs and the 10 planets. Really cool, huh? That's pretty obvious, but The point is that the tarot works so well with astrology because it shows us where we are rotating. Wait, hold the phone here. Yeah, I just said rotating. And if you take a minute and look at the word tarot, you will see that it is an anagram for rota, as we see in the wheel card. And if we add a ATION, we get rotation. What are you going to do now? Seriously, in this moment you can either rotate or you can... what? Tarot? We are all under the influence of the stars, and it's our task as humans to see this and rise above it so we can rise above the ill fate of our karma, or inconsistent, if you will. So in short, the tarot in the symbolic is a symbolic system for self-transformation that represents the spiral of life, where we all have to accomplish one cycle to be able to start anew. Whoa. What does that mean? What did I just say? Complete to start anew? It's okay. I will go over this with you in a workshop, or if you come to one of my retreats or book a session. You know, you gotta start somewhere. All humor aside, the first archetype that we work with is called the Fool. And what better way to make a fool of ourselves than to pretend we are totally immune to the constellations and karma and act like we know it all? I mean, seriously, who needs astrology? Well, if you want to improve your life, you need to get acquainted with these archetypes and how they work via the spiral, that I was talking about, aka astrology. Thank you.
You know, people have been criticized and jabbed at and talked about throughout the ages for having different beliefs. And apparently I am no exception. Although it is a constant challenge, I will continue. I will not allow them to stop me. I will teach as a shaman and help those who seek the knowledge.